Hi, I'm Serotonin, and this is my Auriaya 25-man walkthrough, also known as the Crazy Cat Lady. Oh, and I got a new mic, so my voice sounds slightly different. For this fight, you'll need at least 3 tanks. Judgment uses 2 protection warriors and a protection paladin. You'll also need someone to pull Auriaya and her adds. For this fight, we'll be using a Death Knight with their Death and Decay. However, you can also use a Warlock's Imp. Actually put the little stinker to work. Seriously, it already pulls bosses enough. Or you can also use a Shaman's Earthbind or whichever totem they want. This will also pull the boss. Doesn't matter which way, just as long as you do it, so that way you don't totally wipe. Also, bringing along 6 to 7 healers makes this fight immensely easier. Preferably a mixed group with druids, probably a disc priest, a shaman, and a paladin. Alright, now for group setups. First of all, you're going to have one of the tanks on the other side, LOS from Auriaya, from the rest of the raid, right up against the wall. Then you'll have the other 2 tanks, along with healers ranged and melee DPS, all clustered together. You can switch sides, whichever works for you best. Make certain to take out the adds that are on either side, but have everyone stack up on top of each other, and either the Death Knight, Warlock, or Shaman will go out, and when Auriaya is about on the steps, they put Death and Decay right back there. You want them to try to get as far towards her as possible, so that way they can run back to the group real quick. At this point, if you'll notice, she's about to step into the Death and Decay. Make certain that a hunter or rogue immediately misdirects her onto the tank on the far corner, and then the other 2 tanks will get her cat adds. This is very, very important because otherwise they'll start raffle stomping other people, and they really do hit very, very hard when they first are together. But after you get those 2 down, make certain to separate them. If you'll notice, the paladin and the warrior are on opposite sides of the steps. This makes certain that the adds are far enough away that they don't get their buff. It increases their damage when they're together. Alright, now that you've gotten past the single hardest part of this fight, you're now onto Auriaya. Make certain that both tanks head in towards the front of her. Make certain everyone, absolutely everyone, needs to get in front of her and in melee range. Really scrunch up together. One of the tanks will make certain to pick up the Guardian once it spawns, which is spawn pretty much right after you get the adds. I think it's like 30 or a minute into the fight, something like that. Make certain everyone is in front of her, because she'll do an ability that everyone needs to soak up like a meteor. Alright, now for Auriaya's abilities. The first one is Horrifying Screech. She fears everyone for 5 seconds. This will hit everyone, so a Tremor Totem is especially helpful. Alright, our next ability is Sentinel Blast. It hits everyone for 5.5k shadow damage. This must be interrupted. It has to be, otherwise the raid wipes. She will start casting it right after she does Horrifying Screech. Her next ability is Summoning Swarming Guardians. She summons about 10 of these, and they don't hit too hard. They don't have much health, so just AoE them down. It doesn't take long at all. She also does Sentinel Screech. It hits for about 185 to 215,000 shadow damage, but remember, this is going to be hitting 25 people, so it's not going to be nearly enough. This is the reason why you need to stay in front of her, so that way everyone soaks up the damage. Alright, the 4 adds that you see with her at the start of the fight are called Sanctum Sentries. Strength of the Pack, it increases their damage by 50% per one that are in 20 yards. This is the reason why you need to separate them, so that way they're only doing plus 100% damage. Their next ability is called Savage Pounce. It hits for about 13 to 16k damage plus 7 to 8k damage every 5 seconds. This is the reason why you need to get the tanks topped off as soon as you can, because this thing hurts. And the last add is the Feral Spirit. This is what you're going to be dealing with for the rest of the fight. First of all, is Feral Essence. Increases damage by 50% a stack, and he has 9 stacks. Get it? 9 lives. It also does Feral Pounce, which stuns you, and it also does 600 damage for 4 seconds. Not the worst ability. The worst one, I swear to God, it's the most annoying thing, is Feral Rush. It interrupts spellcasting. And it also hits you for about 14k. I know on WoW Wiki and some other things it says it only hits for like maybe 7,000. Oh hell no! Remember, it's got the buff to it, so this hits for about 14k. It can like one-shot a caster if they have even a little bit of their health out. Alright, and finally we have Steeping Feral Essence. What a lovely name. But pretty much, once the feral spirit dies, it leaves the void zone. Stay out of the void zone. Enough said. Alright, the single hardest part of this fight is the pull. It's seriously, it's the pull. I mean, you're gonna wipe time after time after time until you get this right. If you'll notice, the Guardians are together, so they're getting like a 200% damage increase, which bad news bears for the tanks. Also, if you'll notice, our Paladin tank is taking 2 of the adds over to the right on the screen, and he's about 20 yards away from everybody, so they don't have nearly as much damage increase. If you'll notice, we're kind of aiming down the adds and sequel targeting them. Make certain you get them down as soon as you can. As soon as those guys are down, head over to Auriaya. You're also going to have, of course, the Feral Spirit to deal with. One of the tanks needs to tank it down. Also, the important thing about this fight is you don't actually want to kill it. It's a pain in the ass. It kills people. It's annoying. But you don't actually want to kill it because otherwise it's going to spawn a void zone. Now, if you'll notice, the swarming guardians are in, and if you'll notice, they go down really, really quick. So, I mean, you don't really have to worry about them too much. At this point, she's probably going to be doing her screech soon. So if you'll notice, everybody gets feared. Ooh, yay! It's 5 seconds. It doesn't last long. Make certain you have a tremor totem down, and everyone comes back. You make certain you interrupt her, because otherwise, ooh, bad news bear right there. But otherwise, that's the fight. If you'll just notice, I got pretty much one-shotted by the stupid feral defender, and I'll die a couple times because of that stupid damn cat. But there's not much you can do about it, healers. Just please, we love you. And just pay attention to people's health and get them topped off as soon as you can. And otherwise, that's the fight. I mean, there's not too terribly much more I can explain to you about the fight. You just have to watch people's health, make certain, you know, as soon as you get feared, that you run right back to in front of her. Make certain that the tank, you face her out so that way people can get in front of her. Otherwise, that's the fight, and good luck. You'll need lots of gold because you'll have pretty big repair bills, but she's really not too bad. The pull is the hardest thing. Once you get past that, you're good to go. Good luck, and I'll see you in the rest of Ulduar. Oh, and one more important thing that I almost forgot. Once the Feral Defender does die, if you'll notice, it has the Void Zone on the floor. Just have the tanking Auriaya bring everyone over to the other round area. If you'll notice. There we go. There we go. You start bringing them over there, and then, yay, look, she's dead. Woo!